Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. So today we are going to present our statistical analysis, which is entitled a statistical analysis of anxiety levels by gender using the family anxiety dataset. So for introduction, the family anxiety datasets consist of 100 respondents, and it also contains demographic and anxiety-related information. The variables included in these datasets are age, gender, occupation, sleep hours, physical activity, stress level, and anxiety level. So in this study, we focus on gender and anxiety levels, and our aim is to examine whether anxiety levels differ among male, female, and other gender groups. Alright, so we move on to the next slide, which is research objective and research question. So, in our research, the objective is to determine whether there is a significant difference in anxiety levels among the different gender groups. So, the research question is there a significant difference in anxiety levels among male, female, and other gender groups? And in this study, gender is the independent variable because it represents the group being compared, while anxiety level is the dependent variable because it is the outcome of being analyzed. And now I would like to invite Ayu.
Thank you, PA. Before conducting the statistical analysis, we first performed data cleaning to ensure that the dataset was accurate and suitable for analysis. We checked for missing values, duplicate records, incorrect values, and outliers. After completing these checks, the clean dataset was ready for descriptive and inferential statistical analysis. Next, we visualized the data using charts and tables. For gender distribution, female and other respondents each represented 36% of the sample, while male respondents represented 28%. For anxiety level, 54% of respondents had moderate anxiety, 37% had low anxiety, and only 9% had high anxiety. This indicates that moderate anxiety was the most common anxiety category among the respondents. I will now pass the presentation to Yun.
Thank you, Ayu. Now moving to 3.0, this slide shows the descriptive statistics of our dataset. There were 28 male respondents, 36 female respondents, and 36 respondents in the other gender category, making a total of 100 respondents. For anxiety level, 54 respondents experienced moderate anxiety, 37 respondents had low anxiety, and 9 respondents had high anxiety. Therefore, moderate anxiety was the most common category in our dataset. Also, looking at the table slide, the average sleep duration was 6.064 hours with a median of 6.95 hours and a mode of 6.7 hours, and the minimum sleep duration was 2.5 hours, while the maximum was 9.8 hours, resulting in a range of 7.3 hours. Overall, respondents slept approximately 6.8 hours per day on average. Now, I would like to invite my group mate, Siti Suhaila, to explain the inferential statistical analysis.
Thank you, Yun. And for the inferential analysis, we use one-way ANOVA. The purpose of this test is to determine whether there is a significant difference in anxiety scores among the three independent gender groups, namely male, female, and other. The significance level is used in the study is 0.05. Our null hypothesis states that there is no significant difference in anxiety scores among the three gender groups. The alternative hypothesis states that there there is a significant difference in anxiety scores among the three gender groups. The decision rule is simple. If the p-value is less than 0.5, we rejected the null hypothesis. However, if the p-value gender is greater than 0.05, we fail to reject the null hypothesis. Moving on to ANOVA result, this slide presents the ANOVA result. Based on the Excel output, we will refer to the p-value and f-value and the p-value to make our decision. If the p-value is less than 0.05, it means that there is a statistically significant difference among the gender groups. If the p-value is greater than 0.05, it means that there is no statistically significant difference. Now, I would like to invite Fazri to present the discussion and conclusion.
Alright, we move on to the next slide, which is key findings. So, based on our descriptive analysis, the dataset consists of 100 respondents. Female and other respondents each represent 36% of the sample, while male respondents represent 28%. And moderate anxiety was the most common anxiety category, accounting for 54% of all respondents, and the average sleep duration was approximately 6.8 hours.
Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. My name is Muhammad Fazli Mirji. My ID metric is RSUN 250040. Now I will present section 5, which is the discussion and conclusion of our study. For our discussion is, based on our findings, the majority of respondents experience moderate anxiety representing 54% of the sample. This was followed by 37% of respondents with low anxiety, while only 9% reported with high anxiety. In terms of sleep, the respondents slept an average of 6 hours per night. Although this is close to the recommended amount of sleep, there was noticeable variation among respondents. To determine whether anxiety levels differed by gender, we conducted a one-way ANOVA. The analysis showed statistically significant differences in anxiety levels among the male, female, and other gender groups, with a p-value of 0.030, which is less than 0.05. Therefore, we rejected the null hypothesis and concluded that gender is associated with differences in anxiety levels. There are several possible reasons for these findings. Anxiety can be influenced by biological, psychological, and social factors. Different gender groups may experience stress differently because of differences in emotional expression, coping strategies, social support, and daily life experiences. In addition, lifestyle factors such as sleep quality, stress, physical activity, and academic or work commitments may also contribute to anxiety levels. However, this study has several limitations. First, the sample size was limited to only 100 respondents, which may not represent the wider population. Second, the study relied on secondary and self-reported data, which may contain reporting bias. Finally, this study only focused on the relationship between gender and anxiety, without examining other factors that may also influence anxiety. For future research, we recommend using a larger and more diverse sample to improve the reliability of the findings. Researchers should also include additional variables such as stress level, physical activities, sleep quality, and social support. Furthermore, a post-HOC test such as Turkish HSD should be conducted after ANOVA to identify which gender groups differ significantly. For conclusion, this study successfully identified the distribution of respondents according to gender, described the anxiety levels, and examined whether anxiety levels differed among gender groups. The results showed that moderate anxiety was the most common anxiety level, and the one-way ANOVA indicated a statistically significant differences in anxiety levels among male, female, and other groups. Overall, this finding suggests that gender may influence anxiety levels, although the study has several limitations. It provides useful insights into anxiety patterns and can serve as a foundation for future research involving larger samples and additional factors. That's all from me. Thank you.